Dear everyone, welcome to this evening's yoga class. I am so looking forward to share with you another womb yoga class, and with today's theme will be to embody the womb. So welcome to join me and to go on a journey in our bodies and into our wombs. And before to start, I would just love to hear from you. If you can say hello, and so I know who is here, and also if you can hear me well. So please write and say hi and let me know that you are there, so that I can connect with you. Okay, so let us start. Today we will start with a seated meditation, and I am sitting on a pillow. So feel free to sit on a pillow yourself. Hi Tara, you can hear me perfect. So good. Okay. Please say hello if you're here. So yeah, I'm sitting on a pillow, and find a comfortable seat for yourself. And if you need to rest your back towards something, you can do that. And maybe you even want to take a little bit of a stretch before to move into the meditation. It's always nice to kind of unwind a little bit before we meditate. Take a few deep inhales and release through your mouth. And then when you are ready, find your way to close your eyes. And I also welcome you to place your hands by the womb as an invitation for your attention to take a seat into your womb this evening. Maybe for someone you feel like holding one hand by the womb and one hand by the heart. And as we are closing the eyes to the outside, the eyes and our attention are opening up to our inside. And to land further into our bodies, let us breathe together, taking a deep inhale and release. Take a deep inhale and release. Breathe with me. Inhale deeply. Release. One more time. Inhale. Release. Coming into stillness. staying with your body in stillness for now. And sensing into these 2 points underneath your hands. Feeling the palm touching your heart. Feeling the palm touching your womb. Guiding your breath all the way down into your pelvis. And as you are touching your womb, you can become aware if there is any sensations showing up in your womb. If there is any emotions rising in your heart. Allowing your heart to be just as it is in this moment. And gently releasing your hands down to place them on the top of your knees. We're going to start to swing a little bit back and forth. So you are tilting your pelvis and you are tucking your pelvis. As you tuck and you round the lower back, you exhale. And as you tilt forwards and curve your spine, you inhale. And you can feel how these movements are moving into your pelvis, inviting in a watery flow into your pelvis. Breathe with me as you move, exhaling back, inhaling forwards. And as you're moving, you can also become aware if in any part of your pelvis, in your womb, in your sacred genitals, try to feel if there is any part where you are holding. So we tend to sometimes hold tension without being aware of it. So just noticing here if there's any part tensing up, if you can release. And then gradually coming back to the center. Take a moment with your womb in your heart and awareness. Take a deep inhale and release. our next movement is to start to circle the spine. And for anyone that might be on their period, that might be bleeding today, just making sure that you take it very slowly, very softly, not creating any more tension in your womb and pelvis. And the same principle here with your breath. As you lean forward, you inhale. As you curve back, you exhale. You may also feel that the neck is loose and soft. You notice how the spine is moving and your pelvis is the stable point where you can also feel the muscles inside the pelvis moving. Change the direction. Breathe with me. Exhale as you round back. Inhale as you arch forwards. Letting the breath be your guide in the movement rather than the mind. We stay with the breath moving into our bodies. And then coming to the center, take a moment to just be still. Feel yourself. We're going to stretch our legs forward, so keeping quite a wide distance between your legs. And I like to flex my feet, but doing it quite softly. And then interlocking the fingers, stretching the hands out. So coming into a similar movement, and this time it's as if you're stirring a pot with your hands. And for anyone having any lower back problems, you may take it quite easy in this pose and just stay with much smaller movements. Otherwise, keep moving with me, inhaling as you come forward, exhaling as you round back. And feel here the movement in your pelvis. You may also be aware of how you are engaging the muscles in your pelvis while you move. And then change the direction. You might hear a crack in your back. And then coming to the front, place your hands in front of you, as deep as you can go. And just relaxing your toes a little bit. Close your eyes for a moment. Moving your presence to your inner thighs. Where your thighs are connecting to the hips, the groins. And as you stay here, feel how you are moving the breath into the pelvis, into your thighs, staying with your awareness. And then walking your hands back. Take a hold underneath your knees. And then bending the knees. Keeping the knees together, and just for a moment hug your knees. And as you hug the knees, feel how you are lengthening the spine. And giving yourself a nice stretch of the whole spine. And releasing your arms. And we're going to move to stand on hands and knees. So remove your pillow. And you can come to the back of your mat. And then let us start by coming into a child's pose, and you could keep a little bit of distance between your knees so that you can lean in between your thighs and lower down, placing the forehead on the ground. And just letting the earth, the ground, hold you for a moment. Connecting your body to the ground. And from here, lifting yourself up to stand on hands and knees. And let us just swing our hips to one side so that you come into into a C shape with your spine. And just swinging a little bit back and forth. Feeling that you can get a nice deep side stretch in your upper body. Coming to the center. And exhale, sit back one more time into child's pose. And then on the inhale, you lift your arms up, lengthening them up above your head. And on the exhale, you lean forwards, and you come forward with your hips to lie down on the ground. Inhale to lift yourself up into Cobra. And then exhale, sitting back into Child's Pose. On the inhalation, you lift your arms up. And on the exhale, lifting the hips off the ground, leaning forwards into Child's Pose. Into lying on the floor. Inhale, come up into Cobra. And exhale, sit back. So keep on moving with your breath between these three postures, stretching the arms up as you inhale. Lift the hips up to lean forwards and down. Exhale. Inhale, Cobra. Exhale, Child's Pose. So this is a very gentle variation of earth salutation rather than energizing sun salutation. Inhale, stretch up. You do a very gentle variation, being close to the ground. Letting the breath guide the movement back into Child's Pose as you exhale. Inhale, come up, open your heart and chest. And exhale, come forward and down. Exhaling to come back. Let's do one last round. Inhale to open up. Exhale, coming forward. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, Child's Pose. Take a moment in Child's Pose. Feel how you are giving the whole weight of your body to the ground. Our next step is to sit up, sitting on your knees. Take a moment again to come back to your womb. Connecting to her. Taking in her presence. Staying here with so much patience for her to start to communicate with you. So much presence and love. And feeling how you are holding her as you hold your hands there. Feel that she can release into your hands. On an inhale, you let your arms float up above the head. And then as you come above the head, you let the hands, so I'll just show you in the front, you let the hands come together into what we call the lotus mudra above your head, inhaling. And as you exhale, you lower your hands down. Let the palms come together in front of the heart, as if you are bowing to yourself. Take a moment, breathing into your heart. And then the next position of the hands is to come into what we call the yoni mudra, with the thumbs touching and the forefingers pointing down into a triangle. So from the heart, you exhale and you lower your hands down to the womb. Taking in again the presence of your womb. Take a deep inhale. And then you exhale and you release the hands back into the ground. As if you are releasing the tension from your womb into the ground. And one more time, inhale, lift your arms up above the head. And the hands are taking the shape of the lotus mudra, lotus flower mudra. And as you exhale, you lower the arms down, letting the hands meet in namaste in front of your heart, greeting yourself, honoring your heart. From the heart, you take the shape of the yoni mudra. You inhale from the heart. And as you exhale, you lead your hands down to the womb. So we are bringing the loving, nourishing energy from our womb, from our hearts, into the womb. And as you are holding your womb, try to feel her. Try to let her release into your hands. Take a deep inhale, all the way down into the womb. Release, exhale, place your hands on the ground. So this practice is so beautiful to do in nature. So let's do it together one more time. Inhale, reach the arms up above the head. And let the hands meet in lotus mudra, bringing it to your heart. Yoni mudra, from the heart to the womb. Breathe deeply into your womb and release. Release your hands down, connect to the ground. From here, we're gonna lie down on the mat, lying on our backs. So find your way down. And it's nice here to keep the knees bent, keep the feet wide apart so that you can rest the knees towards each other. You can place your hands on the womb, into the yoni mudra if it feels good for you. Take this moment to land into the womb and let her rest. Feeling the loving touch of your hands. Take a deep inhale and breathe all the way down into your pelvis. And then release through your mouth. Feeling how your womb can let go. One more time. Deep inhale into your pelvis. Release through your mouth. For our next movement, you can place the hands down on the ground. You walk the feet a little bit closer, knees slightly apart. And before we start moving, just feel into your lower back, the position of your lower back touching the ground. And noticing where your tailbone is. Feeling the position of your pelvis as you lie in a neutral pose. And the first thing we are going to do is to arch slightly in the lower back and feel that you are tilting the tailbone so that you are pressing the tailbone into the ground, and you can't really see it, but there's a little bit of a lift in my lower back, so I will exaggerate so you understand. So I'm lifting the lower back, but this is too much, but just so you understand. And I'm pressing the tailbone into the ground. And then I come back to neutral. And then I go the opposite direction, so I tuck the tailbone and I'm pressing the lower back into the ground, and you can feel how the tailbone is slightly lifting off the floor. And then I inhale and I release. Let's do it one more time. Arching the lower back and tilting the tailbone into the ground. So it's just like we did in the beginning when we were sitting, tilting and tucking the pelvis. And then release, coming back to neutral. So let us try to move very softly and smoothly between these two positions. So on the exhale, you tuck the tailbone, you press the lower back into the ground, and the tailbone lifts 0.5 centimeter off the ground. And then as you inhale and you release, you feel how you let go of the tailbone, and there's a minor arch in the lower back. Exhaling, tucking the tailbone. Inhale and release. Exhale to tuck. Inhale to release. And stay present with me. Feel your pelvis. Feel your womb and your yoni. How it is moving as you tuck and as you tilt. the importance is that when you let go and you inhale, you completely release in the muscles. And then as you exhale, there is a gentle contraction. And then coming back to neutral, release the knees towards each other. Place your hands back on the wound. And as you stay here, you can explore the deeper layers of your wound. If you can feel now how the muscles have engaged, an activation of the energy in your pelvis. You might feel tingling. You might feel pulsations. You might feel waves of energy. We're going to come down with our hands. We're going to come into another movement. So keeping the feet a little bit closer, about hip width apart, knees the same distance as the feet. And we're going to bring this previous movement into a little bit more movement. And this time you're going to inhale and you're going to lift the hips off the ground. And then you exhale and you lower down. Release. Inhale to lift up. And exhale to lower down. If you feel comfortable, you can even bring your arms into the movement. So inhale and lift your arms up above the head. And exhale, lower down. As you inhale, you feel how you are engaging your buttocks, your core, your thighs, and the muscles inside the pelvis. So this is such a healthy movement to do also for the lower back, to strengthen the pelvis, to strengthen the inner muscles of your pelvis. Let us move a few more times, and this time I would like you to focus on the release, so the exhalation and the release down to the ground, and feel that you're fully releasing every muscle before you inhale and you lift up. So that is really the most important, to release the muscles. So many of us are very tensed in our sexual organs, in our pelvis. So learning to release. And then the next time you touch the ground, you widen your feet again, you place the knees together, coming with your hands on the pelvis. Feel your body. Feel the womb. Taking in the landscape of your womb. feeling in the physical sensations in your womb. For our last pose, you stay where you are. You just open the knees out to the side and you place your feet, the soles of the feet together, so you are coming into what we call Baddha Konasana. And for some of you, if it's a bit painful to open out the thighs, then you might want to put some support under your knees. This is such a nourishing movement, such a nourishing pose for our pelvis, for our womb. For so long, our whole life, we have learned that we need to close our thighs, cross our legs, to close down the powerful energies of the feminine. And we can spend so much time in just this pose to open up again, to open up to the beauty and the pleasures of being a woman. And we cultivate such a deep patience for our womb to release and let go all that she is carrying. But as you're staying here a few more moments, see if you can feel underneath your palms any areas of tension. And offering that tension your loving awareness. And you may feel how it starts to open up and release. And from here on, we're going to move into Savasana. So, lifting your thighs back to the middle and find your way into Savasana pose. Maybe you want to have some props, maybe some pillows under your knees. having a blanket to cover your body so that you don't get cold when the temperature of the body drops. And maybe before you go into full rest, maybe you want to give your body a little stretch. Maybe some sounds are coming. Maybe a sigh, maybe a yawn comes. Maybe you feel like taking a few deep breaths and then to release through your mouth, supporting you to go into a deep, deep rest. And when you have found your resting pose, your Savasana pose, try to see if you can lie fully in stillness for the next 10 to 12 minutes without moving the body, so that you can go into a deep, deep rest. Starting by feeling that you can release the weight of your body into the ground, the whole weight of your body into the ground. Feeling the parts of your body that are resting on the ground, the outer heels, the lower legs, back of the lower legs, back of your thighs, the buttocks, the middle back, the upper back, back of your head, outer arms, all resting on the ground. Releasing the weight of your body through these points. Moving your awareness to your mouth. Feel your jaw soften. Feel the walls of your mouth, left and right, top and bottom. Feel your tongue. Feel the gum and the teeth. Everything becoming passive. Moving to your eyes. Feeling how The eyeballs are resting into the eye socket. Feeling how the upper eyelid is resting on the lower. Feel all the muscles around your eyes soften. Feel your ears, noticing any sounds in your environment. Taking the attention of listening inside into your body. Feeling the skin of your body the different sensations on the skin of your body. Feeling your breath. Notice how it has become more shallow as the body needs less and less oxygen. And being aware of, as you move into deeper and deeper rest, how the body requires almost no breathing. With each exhale, the body releases into deeper and deeper rest. With each exhale, the mind releases into a deeper stillness. All that you are left with is the presence of yourself. Your most beloved being. As you inhale, there is a sensation of expanding the field of your heart. As you exhale, your heart lets go and surrenders. Starting to come back to the whole body, coming back to the room you are lying in, coming back to your breath, the rest is now over, so you can gently move your fingers and your toes. When you are ready, you can lie over to the side. And taking your time to come out of the rest. And to whoever was joining me tonight, I would love to hear from you, to know who you are, so please write me to a feminine way or leave a message here in the chat. And if you would like to dive into the sacred feminine and the healing of your womb and yourself as a woman, you are welcome to join me in August during my retreat, and you can just go to Shambhala Gatherings to read more about it. I will post a link in the chat. So thank you so much for joining me, and please get in touch, because I would love to know you. Have a beautiful evening.